Hey everyone, welcome back. Bill here. I want to talk to you guys about game discoverability. It seems like something gone are the days when I would go to a store and look at the games on the shelf and flip over and look at the back of the box and make a decision there. That just doesn't happen anymore. More than often than not, I know what games I'm going to buy well in advance of when these games come out. The only real exception to that rule would have to be indie games. And indie games are really, really hard to discover an indie game that you don't already know about or that somebody else that you know doesn't already know about. Right now, they kind of depend on word of mouth, and that hasn't always been the case. Steam and other online marketplaces that sell digital video games, they've just become so crowded and really, really hard to wade through to find that diamond in the rough or that needle in the haystack. It's hard to find the amazing game that's in there when there are hundreds of games uploaded every single day. The Nintendo Switch eShop is running into the same problem now. I'm sure that the problem exists on Xbox as well. And I know that looking through the PlayStation Store is just too cumbersome to try and locate anything unless I know exactly what I'm looking for. Even looking by genre, it's just there's too much stuff. You end up getting analysis paralysis. You don't know what to go with because there's just too much stuff. So for me, I just stop shopping for games and I wait until a certain game is getting lots of recognition and then it comes to my attention, and that's when I find out more about it. But I don't go into Steam or the eShop or my PlayStation and just look at what's on the digital store there. It's just not something that I ever do. And I certainly don't go to a brick and mortar store and pick up the games off the shelf and look at the back and see what the game's about. That's not something that I do. So we've defined the problem. Let's talk about some solutions that are out there. But before we do that, I just want to remind everybody that if you find this video enjoyable at all, make sure you click on that thumbs up button down below. And if you really like this content and you want more like it, don't forget to click on that subscribe button because it really does help. All right, now that we've got all of that stuff out of the way, we've defined the problem. Let's talk about solutions. Steam is trying to come up with solutions. Right now, the Epic Games Store doesn't really have this problem, mostly because they don't have nearly as much content. I will say this, it is very... I find the Epic Games Store to be very difficult to navigate, and that's something that they definitely need to work on. But I want to focus today on Steam because they've recently unveiled this new initiative to help independent games, well, maybe not even just independent games, but to help games get more discoverable. Because right now, when you go on Steam, or previously when you go on Steam, it's just here's everything, and sure, you can drill down by genre, but like I said before, there's just too much. So what have they done? They have this new thing called Steam Labs, which is funny. I was watching somebody do a stream and they had their Steam window open and I saw Steam Labs. And if you are a streamer, this will make a lot of sense to you. I saw it and I was like, Streamlabs is coming to Steam? That's so weird. But no, that's not what it is. Steam Labs is this new experiment from Steam that is focusing on helping games become more discoverable. So let's take a look at Steam Labs. I've loaded it up here in my Steam window and we'll see what we've got. So Experiment 1. Experiment 1 is micro trailers. It says here, what if you could absorb every game on Steam in just moments? Hundreds of new games launch on Steam every month. I think it's far faster than that, but okay. Are you missing something? What are you missing? This type of anxiety can be maddening. Okay, first off, if you're getting anxiety about this, then you have bigger problems and you should probably focus on something else, but that's okay. What if you could absorb a couple dozen RPGs or 100 of the latest titles over your lunch break? Here's our attempt to offer just that in multiple flavors. So, Here we've got classic micro trailers. Click a category, then hover your mouse over a game to see its trailer in motion. Seems pretty cool. I'm a big fan of roguelikes, so I'm going to click on roguelikes, and it's going to load up, and we've got a bunch of roguelikes here, and I could just hover my mouse over to see if anything is interesting to me. And so I'm just kind of looking at these trailers, and oh, this one seems kind of cool. It looks like it's called Cyberpunk 2030. So I'm going to click on that, and it looks like it opens up the actual game with the real trailer in a little window, which is kind of cool. I like that. Let's go ahead and close that. Let's go back to micro trailers home. They also have play an entire row. So let's say I want to look at builders. Sure, why not? So what it looks like is when I mouse over it, it's going to show me 3 at once. So it seems like Steam is trying to do this experiment where they're trying to show you little snippets of a game in order to get your attention on it. I think that that's pretty cool. I think that this is interesting. And you know, what else are they doing with Steam Labs? Well, let's find out. We also have scroll to play. It'll automatically play videos while you scroll down the play. 2x2 grids. So this all seems like it's kind of the same thing. I think for me, the play the entire row makes the most sense. What else do we have? Let's check out the rest of Steam Labs and see what else that they have. So micro trailers is their first experiment. The second one is the interactive recommender. It says machine learning predicts games you'd like based on your library. Now this is very cool, except that things like the Humble Bundle have really filled my library with stuff that I've never played. So I wonder if a lot of I hope that it takes playtime into account when figuring out what kind of games that I like. I hope that makes sense. Let's take a look at the interactive recommender from Steam and see what it says for me. So it's my top 50. Okay, good. Look at this. It says it's doing my top 50 games by hours played. Although I will say this, Final Fantasy 14 and Elder Scrolls Online have not been played for that, well, Elder Scrolls Online probably I haven't played for 229 hours. That's probably patch time or something like that. Same with Marvel Heroes, which I can't even get anymore. I wish that that would just get removed automatically. But let's take a look over here. So we've got my playtime. I love that it's basing it on playtime. And then here I can say weight it by popular or niche, or a little slider that says older or newer, and exclude wishlisted games, because I don't want to see games that I already know about. So I'm going to exclude the wishlisted games, and I'm going to exclude games that are early access, because I don't want that. And I want to make sure that it's only showing me, sure, we'll say open world games. So now it's kind of trying to narrow things down, and I say I want to look at something that's newer, so probably something in the last 2 years. And so now it's telling me, oh, I would probably like MapleStory, I would probably like Outward or Sekiro, and if you put your mouse over top of it, it plays the little micro trailer, which is really cool. I find this to be pretty impressive, and overall I think it's fantastic. Final Fantasy 15 Windows Edition. I can scroll down and see, and you know what, I will say this, Steam does not know that I have Final Fantasy 15 on my PS4, and I really do like that game, and so I like that it's recommending that game. I like that a lot. Let's see what else is on here. Dragon Quest 11, that's another game that I really like. I have it on my PS4, but Steam doesn't know that, and it's recommending it to me. That's awesome. West of Loathing is a game I have on my Switch. I think it's a fantastic game, and it is recommending it to me based on the stuff here that I have selected. So I think that's pretty damn rad. Let's take a look at Automatic Show, an automated daily half-hour show about Steam games. What? Okay, so if I click this, the Automatic Show is generated for July 9th, 2019. Well, it's July 20th. Why is it doing it like that? So new and popular, on July 9th, and it's showing me, look, there's the Stranger Things game. I love that game. I played it on Nintendo Switch. It's a very, very good game. And now what is it showing me? It's showing me Final Fantasy 14. I don't know why it's showing me that, because it's in my library. But again, this is just like some little thing that is put together. I don't understand why it's from July 9th. If it's an automatic thing, then it should be doing one for July 20th, not July 9th. But anyway, what do you guys think of this? Do you think that Steam Labs is something that other digital platform owners like Nintendo and Sony and Microsoft and Epic Games and Good Old Games and anybody else out there, do you think that it's something that all of these other places should adopt, this kind of curation and recommendation system? I feel like Steam is doing a really good job on this, and I'm also curious as to if you guys go into Steam Labs and you go to your interactive recommender, and I want to know, what are the top games with no filters? So set up yours just like mine. Weight it by popular. Actually, put it right in the middle from popular and niche, and we'll put it at 3 years. And my top 5 games that it recommends are Risk of Rain 2, Ukulele, Battle Right, Slay the Spire, and Hollow Knight. Those are my top 5 games that Steam is recommending to me based on these settings. I would love to know, what are your top 5 games that Steam Labs is recommending to you based on those settings. So anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, and I will see you guys next time. Have a